Welcome to Jikook Are Dating. Hope you're all doing well, Jikook fans. Today I bring you a video full of happiness, tenderness, and surprises because yes, our Jikook is back. And when I say back, I don't mean they're causing trouble, but they're back to share the Jikook interactions we've all been missing with the public. And here, as I always say, it's all about patience. Waiting calmly because sooner or later they will. Bring back the moments we love. Armies around the world are once again left breathless. Without an official announcement, without a press conference, without a clear schedule, suddenly a mysterious countdown appears and immediately sparks a wave of speculation. BTS's name is once again the hottest topic, not because of a single post, but because of a series of clues that feel too neat to be called a coincidence. And this time, the spotlight is on two beloved figures, Jungkook and Jimin. It all started with a seemingly normal atmosphere. BTS's activities appeared calm. Each member was going about their individual schedules, and ARMY had begun to get used to the rhythm of waiting. However, that calm was shattered when a mysterious countdown was detected by observant fans. There was no big logo, no BTS comeback sign, but just one small clue was enough to unite ARMY around the world in analyzing the meaning behind it. What made the situation even more intense was the timing of the countdown's appearance. It wasn't a random date or time. ARMY immediately linked it to BTS's old pattern, how they always slipped messages through numbers, times, and symbols. Within minutes, social media was flooded with theories. Was this the start of a new era? Was the album ready? Or, even more surprisingly, would a world tour finally be announced? Amidst the chaos of theories, Jungkook appeared with a seemingly simple post. But for ARMY, nothing is ever simple when it comes to BTS. The choice of words, emojis, and even the tone felt different. More reflective, more profound, as if hinting at something being prepared. Some fans noticed that Jungkook used phrases similar to those in messages leading up to past comebacks. Again, it could be a coincidence, but too often, coincidences happen right before big announcements. Shortly after, Jimin also caused ARMY to lose focus. Through a brief interaction that went almost unnoticed by the general public, Jimin displayed an attitude that immediately put longtime fans on alert. His tone of voice, his expression, even the emotional atmosphere he exuded reminded ARMY of the period leading up to the release of a major BTS album. Jimin is known as a member who often subtly leaks information, not with explicit words, but through emotions that are difficult to hide. It was the combination of signals from Jungkook and Jimin that caused ARMY's panic to escalate. Not panic in a negative sense, but panic filled with hope. Timelines are flooded with old video clips, comparisons of posts, and detailed analyses of timing and symbols. Many believe that this countdown is not just about an album, but also a sign of the beginning of BTS's next major journey, a long-awaited tour after a lengthy wait and each member's individual phase. Interestingly, the agency remained silent. There was no clarification, no denial. And ARMY knew that silence from the official side often meant one thing. Something was indeed being prepared. In BTS's history, this kind of silence has often been the loudest alarm. When everything seems quiet, a big storm usually comes, in the form of music, stories, and magnificent stages that shake the world. Many armies have also begun to associate this countdown with BTS's emotional significance of time and waiting. BTS is not a group that releases works randomly. Every album is a story. Every tour is an emotional journey. If it is true that this album and tour are being prepared, then it is not just a regular comeback, but an emotional reunion between BTS and ARMY who have been waiting faithfully. What makes the heart flutter the most is the possible message behind all these hints. Jungkook and Jimin are known as two members who are very expressive in conveying their feelings to ARMY. If they start giving hints, it could be a subtle way of saying, "We're almost back. Be patient a little longer." And for ARMY, that one unspoken sentence is enough to reignite a spirit that never truly died. So far, it's all speculation. But if there's one thing that's certain, it's ARMY's unanimous reaction, nervous, hopeful, and ready to welcome whatever comes next. The countdown continues, theories continue to develop, and the world seems to be holding its breath along with ARMY. Has BTS's album really been leaked? Is a world tour on the horizon? Or are Jungkook and Jimin playing the most emotional game of charades ever? The answers may soon be revealed. One thing is clear, when BTS starts the countdown, a new chapter in history is usually ready to be written. And it is precisely at this point that ARMY's emotional tension peaks. Every second that passes in the countdown feels like a heartbeat shared with millions of fans around the world. It's not just because of curiosity, but because BTS always has a unique way of tying ARMY's feelings to time. They are not just counting down to a date, but to a moment when a new story begins. Speculation about the album is running wild. Some ARMY members have begun to link this countdown concept to the theme of returning to their roots that BTS often discussed in old interviews. Some believe that this album will be a reflection of their journey as individuals and as a group, especially after going through a long phase full of changes. Jungkook and Jimin, who have recently appeared to be more emotionally open, are considered to be the key to the album's narrative. It's as if the two are hinting at the tone of the music and the message it will convey, more mature, more honest, and closer to human emotions. The issue of a world tour is no less exciting. The word tour alone is enough to make ARMY scream, especially when it comes to BTS, whose tours are always spectacular. Many fans remember how BTS often slipped in hints about tours through small symbols long before the official announcement. This time feels similar. Suspicious empty schedules, vague comments from those close to them, and sudden increases in online activity. It's all like pieces of a puzzle slowly forming a bigger picture. What makes this situation even more emotional is the longing that has not been completely healed. For many ARMYs, BTS is not just an idol, but a source of strength, a friend, even a place to call home. So when Jungkook and Jimin began to show signs that felt personal, it was like a gentle touch that reawakened old memories. Memories of nights spent waiting for teasers, of tears when hearing a new song, and of the simple joy of seeing BTS standing on the same stage. Across various platforms, ARMYs from different countries began to unite, share theories, and support one another. There were no language barriers or distances, only one shared feeling: hope. Hope that this countdown is the beginning of BTS's next big chapter. Hope that all the waiting will be worth it. Hope that BTS's music will once again accompany our days with new, deeper stories. However, behind all the euphoria, there was also a subtle sense of anxiety. What if these expectations were too high? What if this countdown wasn't about what they imagined? But even those doubts couldn't extinguish the ARMY's enthusiasm.